On January 12th, 2017, Nintendo released the final trailer for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild during their Nintendo Switch presentation, exactly 50 days away from the launch of the game. Now, I'm recording this video on March 15th, 2023, 58 days away from the launch day for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, by the time that Nintendo released that final launch trailer for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, we already had a bunch of demos of the game. There was an entire E3 dedicated to just The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. We knew a lot about what made that game special, and I feel like we had a really good idea of what the game was going to play like by the time that we got that final launch trailer. And with PAX East just around the corner, I think a lot of people assumed that we were going to get a demo for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom during that event. And yet, 2 days ago, Nintendo officially confirmed that Tears of the Kingdom will be skipping PAX East. So my question is this: Nintendo, where is the Zelda Direct? Now, I understand that we just had a Nintendo Direct last month on February 8th, and we did get a trailer for Tears of the Kingdom, but that trailer didn't really reveal too much. We saw a couple of the little vehicles, we have a better idea of what the world is going to be like with the sky and the underground caverns and things like that, but we still don't know, 58 days away from the launch of this game, whether or not Tears of the Kingdom even has dungeons in it. And while I know there have been leaks of an art book of Tears of the Kingdom, and also of a potential OLED version of the Switch that's themed like Tears of the Kingdom, we have not yet heard anything officially from Nintendo themselves, which again is making me question why. Now, I understand that Nintendo probably doesn't want to show off a lot of the game before they absolutely need to, just due to spoilers, which, believe me, I completely understand. I do anime and manga reviews. I'm dodging spoilers left and right every single week. But this situation's a little different. This is the most highly anticipated game on the best-selling system of the current generation. This is the game that's primed to be Game of the Year 2023. This is literally Tears of the Kingdom's year to lose. And while I think we can all agree Breath of the Wild is an absolutely incredible game, and I feel like Nintendo can definitely coast on the success of Breath of the Wild for this game's marketing campaign, I feel like they still have to show something. Now look, we're midway through March, and they still have about 8 days left until they end up matching that time frame between the launch trailer for Breath of the Wild and the release date for Breath of the Wild. But again, by the time that we got that trailer, we had already seen so much of the gameplay of Breath of the Wild. And I understand they probably needed to do that to sort of prepare people for just how different that game was going to be. And I think people are going into Tears of the Kingdom assuming it's going to play a lot like Breath of the Wild. But it's been 6 years and we are now in a post-Elden Ring world. They have to show us something. They cannot just rely on what made Breath of the Wild good. And believe me, I'm going to buy this game regardless. I love Zelda. You guys know this. I'm like a Nintendo brand ambassador. I'm a huge Nintendo fanboy. Literally, they could re-release the Zelda CDI games and I would still buy it. Which is why I hope they listen to me and they show us something pretty soon. Because I'm starved for information. I shouldn't be relying on theory videos on YouTube to tell me potentially what's going to make this game different from Breath of the Wild. And again, I understand not wanting to spoil anything about this game. I understand there might be things related to the gameplay that could directly spoil the story, but come on now. It's a Zelda game. Ganon's gonna be the bad guy. You're gonna have to save Zelda. I don't think the story's gonna be that deep, which means you need to rely on the gameplay, which means you gotta show us something. Please, Nintendo, give me a Zelda Direct soon. P.S. Happy birthday, Aonuma-san.